Hey, welcome back. It's Kicking It with the Crosbys. I'm Mason Crosby, and I'm here with my brother Rees. You know I like to do this. Say hello, Rees. Hey,
I know,
Rees.
like
I
every time. Hi, everybody. My
don't know
name's
how to
Reese.
introduce. Yeah, I
You can
like
just go
I
and
like
then,
the
but
color
like, hi.
green.
It's
Like
so,
your
it's, I
eyes.
just get like excited every time we do the podcast. It's so much fun.
You're
Mason's my big brother.
it's a
Yay.
special one. Hey, look what coffee mug I'm using today.
You have twins. Don't ask what's in the cup. Yeah, that's exactly right.
It is coffee. Don't worry,
The,
guys.
the favorite thing about, again, Mason has 5 kids, and the funny thing always what we talk about is what is it's like at any point in the day someone in the house is crying and it's not always a kid.
Yeah, that's happening. Like, I'm so glad that we are doing this show today. I'm so glad I had my radio show the last couple days because I'm able to hide away in my cabin room. Kids, it's crazy here in Tennessee. We had maybe 2 inches of snow, but it's really cold, and so they've been off of school for the last 2 days.
Oh, goodness
And
gracious.
honestly, I'm not sure if they'll go back tomorrow because it's going to be cold. Like it's going to get like 9 degrees overnight. All this, if anything melts, then all that moisture, it's going to freeze up again. And yeah, like they just can't drive buses. You can't expect
Yeah.
people with, if they don't have proper attire to sit out and wait for those buses to come. So I would not be surprised if they don't have school tomorrow. Might as well just give them the rest of the year off.
No, that's
Just give
that's what it sounds like. That again, like that was the funniest thing ever as a kid. Like when we were growing up, you would wait at the bottom of the ticker of the
Oh
TV of the
gosh.
local news, like,
Yeah.
come on, be on there. Like
They're
that was
worried
the
about
dream.
the superintendent of schools right now because her name's Carol Birdsong, and she always
Ooh.
sends out a phone message and like a text, like if school's canceled or updates.
Yeah.
And I like she didn't send the second day. Like she sent us on Tuesday that school was gonna be Wednesday, and then like for Thursday cancellations, it was some other person, and everyone's
Oh.
like Amber, like, where's Carol? Where'd she go?
Carol,
Like,
no.
yeah, she's gone. She probably took off. She's probably down in Florida right now.
That
She
would be
just
the
was like,
best,
I'm out.
like that would be the best senior prank though, is to like somehow hack in and just be like, school's canceled, like don't
Oh,
come today. Like, wouldn't that be awesome? Like, I mean,
you could
back
now.
again, back in the day, you just had to like do some random prank. Now you can like hack into stuff. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's probably illegal, but it's a
Yeah.
prank, everybody. Get
Don't
over it.
encourage. Yeah. If you say I'm doing this as a prank or like after the fact, you're like, it was a prank.
It was a prank.
That's fine.
And they're
With
like,
all
oh
due
yeah.
respect, you can do whatever you want.
That's basically it's the same thing. It was a prank. It was a senior prank. And they're like, okay, you're good.
Well, talking about Carol down in Florida, like I want to talk. So I wish I was still in Florida. I'll tell you this much. So we had midwinter break. So
Mhm.
like on the heels of midwinter break, they went back
Yeah,
to school
like,
one
they're
day and now they're
just
off.
on a break,
Yeah,
like an official school break,
an
and now
official
it's more
school
of a
break.
break. This
Yeah.
happens all the time, I swear, like,
It happened
since
last year, Martin Luther
yeah.
King Jr. Day. Then we rolled out for like a week of school was canceled.
It was like in Wisconsin, they're like, "Oh, it's -10," like, "You're coming to school,
Oh
get
yeah.
here." Like, Tennessee, they're like, "Guys, it's a little cold outside, it's a little chilly, like,
Yeah.
let's just stay
We
home,
had
stay
one where it
cozy,
was like concern about black ice. Like
just in
there's ice.
case."
We can't see ice. We can't see the ice, but there might be some. So we're canceling everything.
Yeah,
Everything's done. But honestly, I love it because activities are canceled. Everything's canceled. Like I
shut it
prefer
down,
this than in
shut it
Wisconsin.
down.
The Hansons up in Wisconsin are good friends. They said it was -29 wind chill, and the
Oh.
cutoff is -30. And they're like, we're not canceling school. Like that's not happening. I'm like,
Rules are rules, man. Rules
one
are rules.
degree? Like,
Rules
I
are
mean,
rules.
how, like, what's the difference at that point? Like, it's the same thing.
I think once it hits 0, it just doesn't matter anymore. It's just cold. Like what's the threshold there for like,
What
oh,
if
you
it,
can feel the difference between 20 and 10 and like 10 and 0, but then everything else is just I don't think there's a difference. I think it just should just stop. It's just
yeah,
cold.
you're not going to be surviving if you're out in it for too long.
No.
Speaking of survival, when again, midwinter break,
Yeah,
took
hit me back.
kids.
Take me back to Florida.
Yeah, I want to take you to Florida. So we decide big plan. We're going to take 5 kids to Florida. Molly, being an amazing wife, she deserves something really nice. Let me fly out early
Whoa,
to
yeah.
Yeah, play some golf, see some friends, hang out, and to kind of like I was like the forward like mission. Like I went out in front. I got the rental
The
car,
scout. You're the scout.
took bags, did everything so I could just pick them up at the airport when they flew in on Thursday afternoon, and we'd be ready to roll. So honestly, it's like I show up at the airport, I park the car, go in. I'm like the welcoming committee. I'm smiling.
Got the sign.
I've been in Florida for 2 days. I'm like I'm full vacation mode. I'm ready to roll. Molly like I see her coming down the escalator, just like it's like everyone's just like quiet, and I'm like, welcome to Florida.
Kids are scratching and clawing like
Oh,
bloodthirsty wolverines, like
yeah.
ready to just pounce.
Yeah, so we get like at that point we're on a trip. We're not on vacation yet. We've taken a family trip to this point, and it took like Molly settled in really great. Molly's great. Vacation Molly is top notch.
Top
And
notch.
so she settles in later that evening, but it kind of took her a little bit to kind of transition into vacation mode. And we go to who is going to be our guest on the show today, go to Pat O'Donnell's house, his wife Shelby, and then they have 3 little kids, and they're all under 5 years old.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so we have 8 kids, five kids under 11 years. Well, no, gosh, 6 kids under 10. Like,
And then what?
just pure
5 under
chaos.
7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Pure chaos. But so much fun. Honestly, it was great. We decided to do a beach day on Saturday, like a bunch of idiots. Like you should have seen me. I'm like Baywatch out there. Like I drew a line in the sand because it was like this is Atlantic Ocean we're talking about here. This is not like just like Caribbean, like easy, gentle going in. We got waves and riptide. And they're like, we want to play in the water. And I'm like, you will not cross this line.
You will not go in the water.
Yeah. So I'm standing there, water's coming up the beach. Like they'd laugh, oh, it hit them. And then as it would like suck back out, and the riptide would kind of come back out, they're like getting sucked down the beach. I'm just like grabbing swimsuits, like tossing kids back up the beach. I earned myself a high noon after that. I had a nice little sip. I couldn't do it while we were on the beach. I'm like, I can't even enjoy like
you needed both hands free. You were on duty working. Yeah. I mean, basically you're like a single parent at that point, just working, doing everything, you know.
I was wondering where all the other parents. I mean, I'm like, am I the only person here that like
they're just like hiding in the dunes, like or like rolled over pretending to tan their back so they just don't see you having to like fight for your life to save children every second of the day.
Like I'm pretty sure I saw Molly's like on a towel, like throwing her hair back. They were doing like photo shoots over there.
Just like I could just see her just constantly just like vacation. This is what you do.
No, I mean I see Shelby and her, they're like taking pictures of each other and have like the little kids like nice and comfortable on the beach, and I'm just like stressed, just saving kids. Just like don't
get like scrapes from the sand, you're just bleeding everywhere.
Nolan gets hit by a man of war, like a jellyfish.
Oh no.
I instantly offered to pee on him.
Obviously.
I'm pretty sure he peed on himself to do it because he's like, you're not peeing on me. So I'm like,
I can
someone
confirm,
has to pee on this.
I can confirm 100% that Nolan Crosby peed on himself. I'll confirm that right now.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. I wasn't there, but I know for a fact that Nolan Crosby peed on himself. I just want it out there.
No one saw it. I didn't see it. I can't confirm it. I'm not confirm it.
it.
I won't throw him under the bus.
I will.
But he felt better after like a little, a moment, away from everyone. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if he found a balm of some sort. Maybe he found like an anti-itch balm,
some sort of balm or ointment. Think ointment or balms. I think literally, hey, just for the record, I don't think it's the actual fact of peeing on the sting that does anything. I think it's like the heat actually that is the solution there. Just a heads up. It's like mosquito bites. It's the same thing. It's like
it's pee.
It's pee. It's the pH balance that
it is.
Really
that's what they said. Is it not that? You think it's just the warmth?
I don't think it is. I think it's the warmth. I think it's
that. All right. Anyone listening, like again, Listen, subscribe, Kicking It with the Crosbys, free
Google
Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah.
We need some
peeing on
information.
stuff.
We're not going to Google it.
What else can pee fix? This has gone off the rails. We are now. It's a science, urine. It's a urine only podcast.
Hey,
next episode, it's gonna go down with like what else can pee cure? Like that's what I want to know.
Or a dodgeball reference, like you can drink it. You can drink your own urine. It's sterile, and I like the taste. So, what's his name?
Patches O'Houlihan.
Patches O'Houlihan. That's right. Yep. Patches.
Right. He's a classic.
I mean, if I was in a pinch, I would boil my own. I would boil my own urine.
Okay.
I would drink it. Would you?
I mean, if I had to, is this like a full yeah? I mean, if I had to, sure. Like
you're camping, you run out of water, like.
You're bored. You prank somebody for a senior prank at high school. Wait, no, we can't go back to that.
If you say this was a prank, you just drink my urine. That's fine. That's fine.
I'm so glad Pat's not on here yet. So whenever he gets on, we can be like, "Hey, first question: would you drink your own urine?" Like, let's just hit him with that.
Definitely asking that.
He's not going to be ready for it, and I just want to see how he reacts.
Yeah, you ask that question because that will like it will rattle his cage for the rest of the time.
So did you get like relaxed at all on the trip, or were you just like worrying about like urine everywhere?
Well, I had some moments, but then it's like then we're in the pool, kids are swimming in the pool, like
you just like on high alert at all times.
Kids, and like my kids are good swimmers, they're watching out for it, all that, but yeah, I was just on high alert until everyone was asleep. And then I was so tired that we stayed up like 9 o'clock every night. It was just like yeah, it was. But so that is the question. Is it like, what's the difference in a family vacation and a family trip? Like, I do think we had a little piece of vacation. Vacation is relaxing. Vacation is like going somewhere where you don't have anything planned. You're just like, we're sitting around doing but when you have kids, it's very rare that you're like in this relaxing vacation environment. It's like you have to keep them entertained. If you go to the beach, you're not chilling, like you are like working. It is stressful. It is hard work. But again, Pat, it was so funny. I'm like, I posted a video on Instagram, and it was his brand Dad Szn, and I'm I posted it. I'm looking off into the sunset or into the sun, and I have my glasses on. And mind you, I went to Florida and I forgot to bring sunglasses. So I pull a dad and I buy like the $10 grocery store. And glad I did because, mind you, Rees, we decided at 5, next day, 5 a.m. So on Sunday, we go to the beach on Saturday, whole day, whole debacle. Sunday morning, 5 a.m., we drive to Orlando.
What?
To go to Discovery Cove.
Oh no.
Swim with sharks, swim with dolphins, like swimming and petting stingrays. Like it was what am I thinking? Like I'm just
who signed off on all that? It's exhausting just thinking.
I planned the whole thing. I'm an idiot. I'm just
what is wrong with you?
It was fun. I wanted to go to Florida. I actually, honestly, it was awesome. The drive, getting everyone up, kids. My kids, they're rock stars. They're great travelers. They rally. They do some stuff. And Discovery Cove, if you haven't been, is the best. Like it was awesome. I don't know if we'll ever go back, but it was awesome.
It's a one and done. I'm hitting up Universal Studios at the end of this month, and I'm pumped. Harry Potter World, that all day in Harry Potter World.
I haven't done I've done the rides on Universal, but I haven't done like the world, like the.
Dude, I'm getting a butterbeer, and I might get one of the wands so I can be an actual. Sorry, I didn't mean to actually cast a spell at you just then.
You almost did. You didn't say the words.
I know. Well, I didn't say the words, but I also didn't have the wand. But it was the form was there, and I didn't mean to. And I'm sorry.
If you said the words, I would have been concerned. Like,
it was close. I didn't mean to do that. That was
Expelliarmus.
Dude.
Yeah. You remember that?
First off, underage magic is illegal outside of Hogwarts.
I'm a muggle. I can't do magic. I'm a muggle.
Oh my gosh. This episode's amazing. We are all over the place. So for the record, this is how our conversations normally go. This is like a strict
a stream of consciousness.
This is how it goes.
Remember that road trip driving from Texas up to Green Bay, and you decided to do a Harry Potter spell at a red light.
We're in traffic, yeah.
We're in traffic.
People weren't moving. I had
Need
to,
stuff to move. I'm pretty sure I spit my whole Monster energy drink all over the car.
Everywhere.
And that is when we realized that you shouldn't consume more than 2 Monster energy drinks in a single day.
At the time, it said it on the can.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it still does.
It gave us a
but,
warning.
Like, it was like,
I think
do
we were
not
on
consume more
I
than
think
2.
we were on number 3 at that point.
It was
So
rough.
there was some concerns. We were hallucinating. Things were getting weird. And I'm pretty sure we were in the middle of Arkansas.
I don't even remember where that was.
Missouri? I don't know. No, we hadn't gotten Missouri. We almost fell asleep on the road on our like outside of St. Louis.
That was a wild trip. Like we went from Lubbock. No, we went from Lubbock is where we were.
So Lubbock. That's
Lubbock
right.
all the way to Green Bay, through Oklahoma, through St. Louis, all the way up to Chicago, and then Green Bay. That was a ridiculous trip. Yes.
That was ridiculous back in the day.
So I mean, yeah, like okay, Florida. What is the what makes it a vacation versus a trip? Is there like a percentage of relaxation to activities? Like how do we justify this? How do you clarify vacation versus trip? Like that's truly, I think the final summary that we need on this.
I'm pretty sure like vacation, you're going to a destination and you're just hanging out. Like you don't have like a purpose. There's not like you're not going to like a national park or museums or like you're going to like doing things. So like I will say this Florida trip was a combo vacation and a trip.
So are we 50 like 51-49? Is that the basis, or does it have to be like a 60-40? Is it has to meet the 60% vacation to become vacation, or is it just a 50-50? If it's just over half, it counts as
I don't know. It's just parts of it that were like relaxing and like a nice vacation, and parts of it that were like it was a work trip. We were on a trip with the kids. Again, we swam with stingrays for like half the day. You should have seen Molly. Oh my gosh. All of a sudden I hear Mason. I'm like, what's going on? Like, did someone get like attacked? And she's like holding on to one of the kids. And like, she's just like, I got to get out of here. These stingrays are bumping into me.
They're freaking her out.
Like they're swarming, all that. And she's like, but I'm going to be tough. I want to experience this with the kids. So I had her like, we're just like floating around and she's like locked onto my arm. I have her on one side. Christine's like half on my other side. And I'm like, this is the most relaxing thing I've ever done in my life.
This is fun.
Oh my gosh. At one point, like I had Christine like on my head, like with her mask in the water. She's just like, I just don't want to be like exposed. And then like Felicity's like hang like over my legs. And I'm just like, why is this happening to me right now?
That's outrageous. So I mean, like I wouldn't trust them either. I will never forgive Stingrays for what they did to Steve Irwin, and I will never RIP. Can we just real quick for Steve, just
moment of silence, Steve.
Yes, for Steve. Oh man,
I was shocked. I mean, that a stingray got him. Like, just blows my mind.
At least it was an animal, and he still loves it, and it's fine. But I can't forgive him. I can't let the grudge go.
He was chasing adventure, and he was chasing that all the time. Like, I think that
love Steve.
I don't know if would he have rather gotten eaten by a crocodile, like an alligator or a crocodile?
I mean, I don't think he wanted to die, but at least
he didn't want to. But like, how did he want to go? I mean, he went out chasing like the things that he loved.
You gotta respect that. You gotta respect that.
All right, let's talk a little soccer. I want to talk about our Liverpool squad, and I have some thoughts. So I think they're in a period of a time right now. They're playing 5 games in like 11 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my God. Well, it's Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday. It's outrageous. Like,
and they had to add in that game against Everton, which was
and Aston Villa. So like they just played like 2 makeup games. So like it's crazy how it works. It is absolutely mad. And that, again, I want to put it in perspective. Whenever you play like a Sunday night than a Thursday, it's like, oh, what a disadvantage, like in football and NFL.
Yeah.
The Sunday game and the Thursday, it's a short week. Like, oh man, it's so hard out. The recovery guys aren't going to get to, recover as well. Sure, it's a different sport, but at the same time, like of the guys on the field, only potentially 5 are not playing the entire game. Other than that, everyone's playing 90 minutes. They are running around like 8 miles every single game.
It's ridiculous.
And it's the most injury prone sport in the entire world. So like you put all of that into perspective and it's like, okay, well, yeah, they play every few days. No big deal. No, they play 90 minutes every like 3 days.
Well, here's another urine fact that Spencer brought. So Manny Pacquiao would drink his own urine during training. So do you think if Liverpool players drank urine during training, do you think that would help them in recovery? There has to be some recovery benefits to it.
It could do that. Like why do you think the original
urine? It has to be your urine though.
It does. Well, yeah, there's got to be some sort of rule there. It's like blood. You don't want to put like the wrong blood type in.
Gross. Blood and urine.
Well, I'm not mixing blood and urine. I'm not mixing it. I'm just saying like it's similar. Like
you can't mix blood and urine. You can't do it.
No, I'm not doing that. But like there's got to be something to it. I mean, why was the original Gatorade? Why is it like that lime yellow? Like why? Is it because they were putting urine?
Don't put that out in the world.
No, that's why.
Gatorade, you're on notice right now.
I'm pretty sure Gatorade originally is that lemon and lime color because they added urine to it. And that's why, like, that's why they're hydrated. Maybe that's the secret. Maybe they're not telling us.
Oh my gosh, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, Gatorade, you have some answers. You need to give us some answers. We're asking the questions. Just please dispel the fact that there wasn't urine in their early Gatorade days.
We got
at the very beginning. Yeah.
I mean, we can reach out to Jordan Milsom, who was at Liverpool, and then he was at Rangers, and then in Saudi Arabia. And he's like, yeah, like strength and conditioning stuff and things like that.
He would know. Yeah. Did he do it? Okay. Yeah, sorry, I digress. But it makes me think too of whenever I was playing there in Green Bay. Yeah, wonder where this is gonna go.
I'm so curious.
There was always a joke. No, it was whenever we had drug testing things, and so it'd be like they would always be, do you need my blood? Do you need blood or urine? Because it was like they would do the pee test, and then they would do the HGH like blood draw.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought it was always just a urine test. I didn't know they had to do blood draw.
So there'd be like the guy would come in and he'd be like, you got picked randomly drawn today for blood and urine. I'm like, both at the same time?
Where are you taking the blood from?
Yeah,
I mean, wait.
What's happening?
Oh my God. I didn't know any of that. That's great.
You didn't know that? Oh yeah. One time he's literally drawing my blood while I'm peeing in a cup.
You had to simultaneously.
Oh, it was a simultaneous.
Oh my God.
So you say blood and urine don't mix. They do. They do.
Yikes. Oh my gosh.
I know. It was crazy. I have some other stories about the testing. I had one time I was at a wedding in Jacksonville, outside of Jacksonville, and I got randomly selected. And I'm just like, man, I'll be back in Green Bay in 2 days. And they're just like, nope, you're picked today. We have someone in Jacksonville. They'll come. I'm Amelia Island, outside of Jacksonville. And so he comes, Chris Sonye. So it was Ryan Todd's wedding. Chris is there at the hotel. The guy comes. I think we were sharing a room. And he comes to my hotel room, and I have to do a urine test in my hotel bathroom. And Chris is just like, "What is happening?" Right now?
That's what I'm surprised Chris didn't
in the bathroom with me, watching me pee, and Chris is sitting on the bed in the room, just is this real?
What is going on? And that's the stuff that no one understands. They think oh, it's testing. It's on this day. You go in. It's at the.
It's at the choose and all that.
In the locker room. No,
they come to my house before. It's crazy. Yeah. No, they'll get that urine. They will get it. And speaking of, hey,
I can tell you one thing about the NFL is they will get that urine. Why are we all on urine today? That's a whole podcast. Kicking It with the Crosbys episode, whatever, talks just titled urine.
Urine podcast. But it's here's a little thing we talked about on the radio today was Bobby Portis He just got suspended 25 games for the
Oh,
Milwaukee Bucks for testing positive for a illegal substance, and that I'm sure it was a urine test. So
yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
I know,
That's
and yeah, that one got me heated a little bit today. I won't dive into it too much, but like taking a pill, like a anti-inflammatory or something
yeah,
that you don't get from a team doctor, you don't have that's regulated.
yeah. Why?
Why do that? Just
Why?
why?
Yeah,
I get you
there's no
trust the
point.
people around you, all that, but it's just you put something in your body, you're responsible. And I give him credit. He's like, I'm responsible what I put in my body. I made a mistake. I trusted that it was a different thing, and it ended up, whoever gave it to me was mistaken. But it's
Mhm.
luckily it was it's actually still a prescription, you hear about the fentanyl, all the stuff. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
don't take anything that's not given to you or prescribed directly from a doctor. Yep. What is this?
That's
The
that's
PSA,
almost
PSA, PSA.
Just just a general
That's
statement,
just
but
a general. All right,
for
we'll move on. That's a general.
professional athletes alone, but
All right,
Liverpool
let's
footy
go back to footage
files
files.
hit it.
So I want to ask you top three most important needs to re-sign for Liverpool. So they have three primary contracts that are expiring.
Yeah,
You got Mo Salah,
yeah,
Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Van Dyke.
yeah.
Verge, my guy, Verge.
Verge.
So out of those three, who do you think who's the must re-sign?
Well, I can start with who is the least important to resign.
Okay.
If we want to start there, just because my argument
I
for the
and I
most
got a
important
feeling this is gonna pain you to say as well.
Trent Alexander Arnold is the
Yeah,
least important to resign, and I have a few reasons why. It does hurt
and he's
because
a
he's
Liverpool guy. Yeah, through
local
and through.
local lads, Scouser. Like his work on the ball is so impressive.
And both
Like I mean,
feet, his crosses, yeah.
he just scored this week, and so for me to even say that is ridiculous. But
Why did they
I
sub
think,
him out right after he scored?
and well, I mean, I don't know. It's
They must think he's
he's
moving
been
on,
working
yeah.
on fitness and
I
getting it
know.
back. So game fitness and practice fitness completely different. So I think they're just working him back.
Okay.
But
I'd agree
it's
with you. I think that's least out of the three, he's the
well,
least important because
and
you
it's
have Connor
because
Bradley coming out. You have you
mhm,
can fill that role in
yeah.
some different ways.
And I think it's because as soon as the rumors started that he was going to Real Madrid, I think his head left the game. Truly, I think his work rate has gone down. His production level has gone down. I mean, he's been hurt too, so that's different. But it's one of those things. These things start creeping in of I'm leaving anyways. But at the same time, his stock might go down. They might not want him as much because
Mm,
he's not producing as much. But I think for me, his mentality seems to be he is on the way out. But he's a Scouser through and through, and don't want him to go. But that's my answer to that. And then as far as most important, it's those two are they're staples at the front and at the back.
yeah,
So
that's a tough one.
Mo Salah is breaking goal scoring records left and right. And not
Insane.
only goal scoring records, he has the most assists as well. So he is just creating goals left and
Isn't
right.
it
And it is
17 goals in the last 18 games or something?
and
And
oh
the
yeah,
only one
it's
was a missed penalty, in a
that's
game.
it.
It should have
He
scored
almost
in
has
every
as
game.
many assists as he does goals. He's over 40 for the season combined. So it's just ridiculous
I think we can probably just
productive he
agree
is.
Mo Salah and Van Dijk are probably a tie. If you
It's got to be
lose
because you,
one of those guys, it's going to change. It's going to change their attack, and it's going to change their defense. It's
yeah.
losing those two. Either one of them is going to change the whole feel of that team in
I mean,
one form or fashion.
part of me thinks that Van Dyke might be more irreplaceable though at defense.
Mm,
Just because it's so hard to say too though, but that confidence and the leadership and that
yeah,
stability, neither one of those guys ever miss games for injuries. But at center back, you see whenever someone comes in, Ibu gets hurt at the other center back position, and a young center back
yeah,
comes in, Gomez is now hurt. So you have to have that stability. Whereas a forward, you can kind of fill that role a little bit. I mean, especially at Liverpool, but it's not the same.
yeah,
He's still Salah's still scoring and still creating assists where
yeah.
these other guys are, but a little more sporadically. So
No, I
you
agree.
never
I
know.
think and you see Van Dyke just like commands, like somebody. He's like correcting. He's like very vocal, always getting people exactly where they need to be. Like, yeah, he's a leader among men. He's an anchor that you cannot lose. So I tend to agree with you. I would say probably Van Dyke number 1, Mo number 1B.
I like that. That's
just because 1A 1B, because like you can't replace a Mo Salah, but you can get a goal scorer, somebody in that role. But it's crazy.
You can't replace a Trent Alexander-Arnold when he's like set pieces or like ball work, but you can replace him for a defensive standpoint. Like Anthony Robinson, for example, even Connor Bradley, who's already there. Like he's already shown that like he has the pace and the speed and the defensive like prowess to get there. He's asking questions.
I love him asking questions. Oh gosh, but
it's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, he has pace. He has like all the stuff. Gosh, I don't know. But then I saw like Luis Diaz, rumored to maybe wanting to go to Barcelona,
mi amor.
Barcelona.
Yeah, there's so many rumors though. Like it's just outrageous. Like
but this summer's gonna be wild though.
Liverpool's gonna make some moves. It's gonna be different, but I mean, and it changes with too. Like if they win the Premier League, that changes stuff. If they win the Champions League, which is now coming into the actual next round, now that the knockout stages are done and stuff like that. So like all this matters, because in order to get the best players, you have to be the best. Like playing in the Champions League is so important, and also winning titles in your league is important as well. So
for sure,
see what happens.
Yeah, but their depth is ridiculous. I mean, whenever you see their subs come on, it's like you got Darwin. Well, that's another one. Darwin Nunez going. Nunez, is it Nunez? Yeah,
Nunez.
Going Nunez.
Just call him Darwin.
Darwin. Rumored to be like a player swap with Isak over at Newcastle. So it's like they're just looking, because gosh, in that Aston Villa game, like such an unselfish, just perfect pass. Like that ball, he hit it, so it didn't skip, it didn't bounce. That thing was just flat on the ground. And like Darwin can be so amazing at times, and then it's like the simple things sometimes elude him.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy that'll score the amazing, ridiculous, miraculous goal and then miss the wide open one. Like that happens. That happens so often. It's quarterbacks do that too. They'll make the crazy back shoulder, or whatever, or like a wide receiver can't catch one right in his face, but he catches like triple.
He catch the one hand like behind the back. Yeah,
it's just how it works. And I mean, that's the thing though, is you have to be successful. You have to be good. Liverpool's depth is there. The midfield is solid. Like they're still going to be good. But you never know who gets bought and who gets transferred, and how that works is like you pay their fee basically, and there's like a price tag for them, and you bring them to your club, and then that happens in the summer. There's a summer transfer window, and there's one in January. So that just ended. But
in our next episode, we'll talk about all of that a little bit, because I want to like run down how all that works, and like kind of my connection with like Vapor Ministries, and like why I got involved in Travella Group and ownership of teams, was to kind of have that path, that trickle down of how transfers work, and the money, how it's transferred amongst players and clubs, how all that works. So we'll kind of run down some of those in-depth things throughout this the rest of this soccer season, as we dive a little bit deeper. But I think we need to get Pat on, and we need to ask him about what were you going to ask him? Has he ever drink? Does he drink urine for training?
There will be a urine question. Yes.
All right, let's get Pat on. We are so fortunate to be joined by the one and only, the great Pat O'Donnell, former Bear, former Packer, I guess current 49er right now. Just an amazing dad, amazing husband, a collector of jerseys, it looks like. Appreciate you jumping on, Pat. I know you just came back from a workout. Looks like you got the arms, going pretty good. So, just tell everybody what you're up to.
I'm embarrassed to say I just completed a Pilates class with all women.
Nice.
Yeah.
Respect.
So it was a lot harder than I thought it would be.
It always is.
Gosh.
Just like that. Yeah. I mean, we did that workout. I was telling the story of our trip out there last week, and and I say trip because family vacation trip, like what does it entail? And we had some awesome times, awesome days, but we had 8 kids, 6 kids under 10 years old, and just a wild time. So, but I'm wearing your Dad Season stuff. Got your shirt. I know you're rocking it. Tell everyone why we could handle it and what you're doing with your Dad Season stuff.
I don't know about handling it, but surviving it is what we're doing.
Survival.
That's what it sounded. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like you guys were basically working the whole time.
Gosh. I tell you what, me living with you in your basement for those 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it was, really prepared me to just jump into me being a father of 3. I'm gonna just put it out there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could help.
I mean, Rees probably can attest to that. When you're there,
oh my gosh, yeah,
you're just diving right into being what a father of 5 is.
It's pretty much it. Like, you do have to come in like warning people, like, it will not be quiet, it will not be calm, it just buckle up, here we go.
It's great though. Chaos is awesome, right? I guess if you can survive it. But I attribute that to you, Mason. But yeah.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, like we used to like try to protect everyone from, being involved with our kids, but it's like kind of like if you come into our space now, it's like you're gonna be all hands on deck. Like there's no just hanging out and relaxing. It's like we have 5 kids. Like we can't give you our full attention more often than not. So like if you kind of want to hang out and be part of it, like you got to jump in with the 5 and you got to be ready to roll.
Nolan's at a good age. I don't know. Yeah. Reese, Fizz and Elizabeth really asked me every hard-hitting question, probably more so than what you're going to ask me on this podcast. So I think I'm ready for anything you're going to throw my way.
Well, let's just start it off. Have you ever actually done this or thought about drinking your own urine for hydration?
In hypothetical scenarios, right?
No.
Probably
no. Real scenarios.
Because we learned Manny Pacquiao would drink his own urine during training. And we were talking about Nolan getting stung by the jellyfish, and this whole urine conversation came up.
Then we've rumored that Gatorade early on, due to the color of the Gatorade, might have slipped in some urine for hydration purposes, just as the secret ingredient. So I just wanted your take on urine and hydration. That would be great.
I'm all about health and wellness, I guess. So if you could prove to me scientifically that it would help me, I think I probably would dabble in that. Yes.
Amazing. I totally respect that. And I totally respect that.
Yeah. And that is like, so Pat and Molly are like so similar. Like it was funny when we were there, it was like Shelby, Pat's wife, and I, like, we're just kind of like, do our thing or whatever, and like it's like whatever, like I'll eat that, I'll do that. And Pat and Molly are like, nope, does it serve this purpose? Like, is it this? All these like rules around it, and it's like we were just like, if they were together, like I'm not sure if they would ever actually end up eating anything because they'd probably read something or like dive down some path. But
food is fuel, Mason.
If they could prove that it was like good for them, if they read the right study that it was okay for their purposes, then they would go down that path. Is that true, Pat? Just like the urine stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't watched too many documentaries recently, unlike Molly. That's why she's gone full plant-based.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah.
That we just went down this horrible rabbit hole, before you came on, and so it was like, let's just keep it going. Let's just dive all the way in on this. But yeah, it was basically just a classic Mason and Rees conversation that has got loud and ranted a little bit, and it was off on like 8 tangents. So
I know. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the whole thing, even though we don't eat that. But let's talk about what you're doing with your Dad Season stuff. I want to showcase that. Obviously the hat, the merchandise, like the stuff you're doing, but talk about the community and how important that is, with the Dad Season world, you and Nick Foles, and all the things that you're doing with that.
Yeah, I think like what you said is what we're trying to build is a community, a brand that is incorporating everybody, all walks of life. I know me and you talked about it very briefly, like we're in Green Bay together, and at that point I didn't really know what it was, and diving full head first, I should say, into Dad Season. I just wanted to create this brand. I called up Nick Foles, and we kind of made this this company work. And at first we didn't know what it was. I was very green in the apparel business, and I met some really cool people along the way. And obviously met with your buddy in Nashville, who's trying to convince me to buy a workout trailer to create more of a community feel for dads trying to get fit.
That's right.
We're trying to do it all. We're trying to bring everybody together. Obviously, we're still a young company, just hit about a year and a half. So we're very young, and I'm glad that you're repping the merchandise here, Mason. So thank you for
dude, I got it all on. This is my new favorite hat. Honestly, it's like this is the best hat I've ever had. So I think I've worn it every day.
He wears it constantly every time I see him.
Since I got back from the trip too. And yeah, I got now I have all my gear. I'm ready to roll. You know, it's if I didn't feel like a dad before, I definitely do now. I'm like,
Good.
I'm ready to go. Yeah. So
now you can just tell everybody you're a dad.
Yeah, it's only been 14 years. He might not have felt like a dad before, but now he does. Now that he has the hat, he's finally a dad.
Now everyone knows. I don't even have to say anything. They're just like, oh, dad, cool. All right. We know what he's about.
We get it. We get it.
Yeah. So we were talking about to like taking all those kids to the beach and like being in dad mode, and you're chasing around Tate and he's just wandering off. I was saying how I was like Baywatch, like lifeguarding on the beach, like just throwing the girls back up the sand as they were getting, about to be swept out into the ocean, and how it's all hands on deck. Like it's always crazy with the kids. How do you associate like being a dad now that you're a dad of 3? Like what is the football side of things? Like how does that feel being a dad of 3? Like does it make it easier? Does it make it more stressful? Like what is kind of the feel you get in that space now?
Being a father of 3 now, still playing football, it definitely does not get easier, especially me being in San Francisco this past year and then dealing with all the different scenarios and them coming out and being in an Airbnb and
makes it
all
hard.
that madness. It's work. It definitely is, but I'm not complaining. It was awesome to have them out there with me for a couple of weeks this season. But I tell you what, when they get older and the schedules start to get crazy, I don't know how you do it. Mace, with 5 different schedules, like 3, they're young enough where they don't have too many things going on. But man, it definitely does not get easier.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with you. It's so fulfilling to be able to share it with them and like know that those memories and all that's being built. But yeah, it's a juggling act and it is tricky. We were just talking about soccer a little bit, so I do want to ask you a quick question. Like, do you have a international, like a soccer team that you follow, or like a Premier League team, an MLS team? Do you follow or track soccer at all?
I wish I did, because I did share a locker room with you and you were all about this. So I wish I had a really clever answer right now, but I'm a free agent. So if you guys want to try to convince me into a team, I'm all about it.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Rees is our local like sorting wizard. He already did a spell earlier on the show. So
that was an accidental spell. I don't want to talk about that.
But but we can get you a team right now if you want. Obviously, we're Liverpool supporters, and then I'm I have an ownership stake in a few other clubs. Walsall, you can be a Walsall fan. The Sadlers, I feel like you'd be a Sadler. But yeah, I don't know. What do you picture Pat as?
It's got to be like we can. I just can make up some questions on the spot right now.
Yeah, we'll ask you some questions, and then we'll get you a team to support.
Are you a big city guy or are you a country guy?
Country guy.
Country guy. Do you want to maybe follow? Do you kind of root for the underdog, or are you an overdog?
Underdog.
Underdog. Let's see. Country, underdog. Do you prefer your mascots to be mythological creatures or based on reality or inanimate objects?
Yeah.
Do they have to be
animals or inanimate objects? I'm already thinking of one that I think he would be a fan of.
I would say real things. Yeah, I'm not
real things.
Okay.
Imagination isn't great in that space.
I was leaning Nottingham Forest.
That's where I was going to be honest. Yeah. That's where I was going to, is Nottingham Forest could be the squad. I think Oh man, there's so many though. Like, because there's a lot that revolve in like London. That's a big one. And then you have your Manchester, Liverpool area teams. Newcastle, I feel like that's a city, things like that. So, oh man, Birmingham area, is that country? I think it is.
What do you think?
Do you counts?
Do you think he's Aston Villa or Wolves?
I think it could be. Like that's where I'm leaning. So I think we can, let's narrow it down. So there's Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Wolves, Ipswich. That might be.
I was thinking Ipswich, but
that might be too underdog. Hey, Ed Sheeran sponsors Ipswich. By the way,
do you like Ed Sheeran?
I'm in.
Oh, all right, he likes Ed Sheeran. All right, that's it.
The way you two were talking was like how I think like Chat GPT is. It's like narrowing down and like
figuring it
like
out.
Very fast.
We are Chat GPT right now.
I feel that. Yeah. It's so, yeah, that's the good thing. It's based in Ipswich, which is cool. One of my favorite is, like they're the Tractor Boys. That's one of their mascot. That's the name, their mascot, basically. The Blues, the Tractor Boys. But yeah, so you have Sir Edward Sheeran is their biggest fan, and his like tour sponsors the front of their kit. So
there you go.
If that's your choice, we can lock you in. They're a Premier League team right now, so they're in the top flight, which is always good. If not, again, we can give you the choice. I think because I was kind of given a choice between Everton and Liverpool, kind of, and I was pushed at 10 years old by all the Liverpool guys to be a Liverpool fan. But I mean, if you want to do some research, again, I think Aston Villa is a good one. Nottingham Forest, they're number 3 right now in the Premier League, even though they're like always an underdog. And then Wolves, maybe Wolverhampton Wanderers. Ooh, that's a cool one. Or Ipswich. You could be a Tractor Boy, man. That could be your thing.
All right, you decide right now, Pat. Who do you want to go? Who are you rooting for?
I've never heard of a mascot being a Tractor Boy, so I think that's really intriguing.
Okay, yes. And you're an Ed Sheeran fan. All right, official Pat O'Donnell, Ipswich Town. He is an Ipswich Tractor Boy, Ed Sheeran fan. I love it.
You have your newest fan, Ipswich Town, Pat O'Donnell of the NFL.
Perfect. Hey, Pat, tell us where we can get your merch.
Very straightforward, dadseason.com. Okay, we got mom season dropping. We got a lot of cool stuff getting rolled out in the spring, just in time for the Masters. So we got a lot of golf stuff being released as well. So Reese, we do have more of a blank hat. We call it the Eclipse for maybe the uncle season.
That's right.
We don't want to exclude those guys that don't have kids yet, but
I always thought about that. I was like, these dad season hats are awesome, but I can't get one yet. I was like, maybe uncle season, but I was like, wait, well, dad season doesn't stop. Uncle season stops as soon as I walk out the door, which is nice. But
you go walking around with an uncle season hat, and you're just start calling you Unc,
right?
That works for me. But
expand the company.
So, I do have another question for you. Of all the jerseys, with awesome jerseys behind you, who's your favorite, most proud jersey that you have?
Most proud. I do have a Crosby jersey here in the corner, but your producer will probably yell at me for not being centered here.
Spencer runs a tight ship, man. I respect it.
Oh gosh, I mean, I would have to probably say that my buddy here, Scales here, I was with him 8 years in Chicago. I know you know him as well, Reese. So great guy. He's exactly what you would want in a long snapper, right? Funny,
for sure.
Just self-deprecating. I mean, he's a redhead. He's amazing.
He's got all of it.
Yeah, everything.
And you played with Kelsey in college, right? At Cincinnati for a short time.
I did, yes. Jason and Travis. Jason was like the cool upperclassman. Like we'd be really like pumped if we got to even hang out at his house. And then
awesome.
Travis just was his own unique person, as he is today.
Oh yeah,
more famous though.
More famous now.
That's well, dude. That was very nice PC way to put that. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just show the Crosby jersey.
I'll show it. Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I put didn't I put something about Step Brothers on there?
You did.
So we'll attach that video to this podcast. If y'all missed it, if you didn't see this back, gosh, what was that? 3 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 years ago, Pat was living in our basement in the off season as he just had gotten to Green Bay, and we did the Step Brothers bunk bed scene, and it was true gold. It was
You guys
definitely
nailed it. You nailed it.
I know. Rees was even proud, which he's the movie buff in the family, and so I think we pulled it off to perfection.
What a lot of people know that about you. You're a huge movie scene guy. Like you'll just like, oh, like that reminds me of this movie. I know Rees is probably, the senior in that category, but Mason's is that what you
always connect back to a movie at some point?
I speak in like 90% movie quotes. That's about. I don't have any like thoughts or humor of my own. It's just re-saying movie quotes. That's about it. But speaking of that, Mason's a big rom-com guy. What's your favorite rom-com movie? You have 5 seconds ready to go.
No, Pat, we're asking
me.
Pat.
Yeah. Pat, what's your favorite rom-com?
I have a million rom-coms. I could change my top 3 every day. So what's your favorite rom-com?
I would say 50 First Dates. Is that considered a rom-com?
Yeah, it's rom-com. Everything's rom-com.
Everything in Reese's mind is a rom-com. So I like 50 First Dates. That was on the other day. I actually watched a little piece of it. It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. That's I probably wouldn't make always my top 3, but it's always in the realm. It's probably a top 10 at times. I'm a feel guy. My top 3 changes just with how I'm feeling. So yeah, I'm just I'm an emotional roller coaster.
That's what everyone knows you about, is you're just such an emotional man.
I'm just an emotional man. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you think of when you think of me, Rees?
That's all I think of. It's definitely not that I am Mason. I have feelings. Beep boop, beep boop. That was you. That's the best impression I can do of Mason.
That's all it is. But Pat and I became best friends after we did that the Step Brothers skit. And he lived in our basement, for a month? 2 months maybe, and then
until I got the eviction notice. Yep.
But it was crazy. Like literally, that month was like 4 years of like playing together on a team. We only played together for 1 season, but like Pat is like one of my all-time favorites, teammates, and obviously we went and stayed at his house with 5 kids, like a family of 7. Like he opened their doors to that. We might have forced ourselves in. I don't even know if we were invited or if he accepted it, but we found beds and we stayed there. So appreciate you, Pat, and man, always good to talk to you. And we'll attach that skit to this podcast and just keep doing your thing. Dad season, full go. Get with Parker, get that trailer running, and just
I expect you to see you down in Florida again.
Well, dude, we're looking to buy a place down there. We'll be down there.
Real estate guy.
We'll be talking. Yeah, we'll let you know what we're dabbling in. Molly was like, maybe Pat and Shelby will want to buy an investment property with us, and we'll just rent it out. It'll be perfect.
There it is. There was the movie quote I was going for. Investors, possibly you.
Investors. All right, man. We're gonna let you go. I know Rees has stuff rolling here this afternoon. I have nothing to do. I'm retired. So
retired life. He $20 he doesn't have on pants, and he still has slippers on. $20.
I'll take it.
Yes. You're about to lose.
No,
I have Uggs on.
That does not count. That is.
Do these count as slippers? Are these slippers?
Those are slippers.
Slippers.
Yes.
That's for another show.
I have pants on though. Total pants. Yeah.
Retirement.
Retired life. I wore this before I was retired. All right, Pat. We're gonna let you go. Really appreciate you jumping on, bud.
Thanks for having me on, Crosby boys.
All right, later, Pat. Awesome having Pat O'Donnell on. Just so good being able to catch up with him. Dadszn.com. Get your gear. If you're not a dad, they're rolling out mom season hats. They have kid season hats. So you can buy them for your nieces and nephews. If you're an uncle or an aunt. Molly had all kinds of ideas like for them, because it is great. Like the season part is so good. So it's SZN, and then it was like you could do golf season, like bro season, like all these things. So they're really expanding that business. Nick Foles running. They have their podcast as well, the Dad Season podcast. So Yeah, it's awesome. Their hats are great. They're super comfortable. They fit my big head well, which is nice. Yeah, but awesome having Pat on. Great show, Rees. Kicking it with the Crosbys. Listen, subscribe on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube. Please jump on, subscribe. Want to do some giveaways. Yeah, enjoyed it, bud. Hey, it's good seeing you. It's been been a week or so. So it was nice getting back on.
Brothers.
Brothers.
We're brothers.
All right. We'll see you next week.